Let's face it, modern dating feels like navigating a labyrinth of confusion. Misunderstandings pile up, emotions spiral out of control, and somewhere along the way we lose sight of what truly matters. But what if I told you there's a different way? A better way? Imagine stepping into every interaction with women, radiating unshakable confidence, mastering every word, every misery moment. Sounds like a dream, right? Here's the catch. Most men get it wrong. They fall for myths like say the right line and she'll fall for you, or be the loudest guy in the room to get her attention. Spoiler alert, none of that works. Women don't want a man who tries too hard, stumbles emotionally, or crumbles under pressure. They crave something deeper, something rare, a high-value man who communicates with intention, presence, and stoic composure. You're about to uncover 10 transformative ways to talk to women that will not only capture their attention but make them genuinely intrigued by you. These aren't tricks or gimmicks, they're timeless principles rooted in self-mastery and personal growth. By the end, you won't just be someone women like, you'll be the man they can't stop thinking about. Let's dive into the first game changer, mastering emotional control. 1. Mastering emotional control. Emotions can be a beautiful thing when handled correctly. But let me ask you this. How often have you felt the urge to react impulsively in the heat of the moment? Maybe she says something unexpected, throws a playful tease your way, or the conversation takes a turn you didn't see coming. Do you lean in, confident and composed, or do you find yourself stumbling, maybe even panicking? Here's the truth most men avoid. Emotional control is power. When you let emotions dictate your actions, you surrender control of the interaction. But when you remain composed, you send a powerful message. I am unshaken. This unflappable nature is magnetic. Though women are instinctively drawn to men who can maintain their composure, especially in moments of tension. Picture this, you're on a date. Things are going well, but then she throws out a curveball, a playful comment that for a less confident man might sting. Wow, I didn't take you for someone who's into that. The insecure man flinches, scrambles to explain himself, or worse, reacts defensively. But you smile, pause, and let her words settle like ripples in a pond. Then with calm confidence, you respond with ease. You'd be surprised. No panic, no defensiveness, just cool, collected energy. This is what separates high-value men from the rest. They understand that not every comment or situation warrants a reaction. They let the moment breathe, assessing before they respond. Why is this so powerful? Because emotional control signals strength, maturity, and self-assurance. It shows that your confidence isn't fragile or dependent on her validation. Let's take this further. Imagine a scenario where the stakes are even higher. Perhaps she disagrees with you passionately or even rejects in advance. How do you handle it? A high-value man knows that rejection is not a reflection of his worth, but rather a simple divergence in preferences. Instead of crumbling or lashing out, he smiles, thanks her for her honesty, and moves on. So why? Because his self-worth is rooted within, not tethered to the outcome of a single interaction. The women notice this. In a world where many men crumble under pressure, the man who remains composed stands out. It's rare, it's refreshing, and it's exactly what they're looking for. Emotional control isn't about suppressing your feelings, it's about mastering them and understanding when and how to channel them. This kind of mastery is a cornerstone of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that champions resilience and rationality in the face of life's challenges. When you embody this Stoic principle, you become a fortress, solid, dependable, and impervious to the fleeting storms of emotion. And here's the kicker. This emotional stability doesn't just make you attractive, it makes you a better partner, friend, and leader in all aspects of life. So the next time you feel emotions bubbling to the surface, take a breath, pause. Ask yourself, am I in control of this moment, or is this moment controlling me? When you choose calm over chaos, you'll notice a shift, not just in how women respond to you, but in how you carry yourself through every interaction. Ready to take your confidence to the next level? Let's move on to the second pillar of high-value communication, speaking with purpose. 2. Calm confidence in conversations. Let's talk about confidence, the kind that doesn't shout but whispers with undeniable authority. Have you ever noticed how some men walk into a room and immediately command attention without saying a word? It's not about being loud or trying to dominate the conversation. It's about exuding a quiet, unshakable confidence that women find irresistible. But here's the million-dollar question. How do you develop this calm confidence? First, understand that confidence isn't something you turn on or off depending on who you're talking to. It's a mindset, a way of being that stems from self-assurance and inner peace. Women are incredibly perceptive. They can sense when a man is putting on a show versus when he's genuinely comfortable in his own skin. And here's where the magic happens. When you embody calm confidence, you don't need to prove anything. You become the man who simply is. Imagine this scenario. You're having a conversation with a woman you're interested in. She challenges you, perhaps playfully, or she tests your patience with a teasing comment. The average man might stumble, try to defend himself, or worse, react emotionally. But you stay cool. You acknowledge her words with a knowing smile, maybe even a playful retort, but you never lose your composure. This subtle confidence communicates volumes. It says, I'm in control here. I don't need to react to prove my worth. Why is this so effective? Because calm confidence is a rarity in today's emotionally reactive world. Most people are constantly seeking validation, easily flustered by external opinions or comments. So women are drawn to the man who stands as a rock amidst the chaos, a man who, no matter the situation, remains grounded and assured. But let's be clear, calm confidence isn't about being emotionless or aloof. It's about balance. You're fully engaged in the conversation, but you're not emotionally invested in every word she says. You listen, respond thoughtfully, and let the interaction flow naturally. This creates an environment where she feels safe to open up, knowing she's speaking to someone who won't be easily rattled or thrown off course. Now, here's a practical tip. When you feel the urge to explain yourself or react defensively, pause. Take a breath. Let the silence linger for a moment. This simple act not only gives you time to collect your thoughts, but also demonstrates that you're comfortable with silence, another hallmark of calm confidence. Remember, women appreciate a man who doesn't rush to fill every gap in conversation. Silence, when used wisely, can be as powerful as words. To master this level of confidence, practice staying present in your daily interactions. Whether you're speaking to a colleague, a friend, or even a stranger, maintain steady eye contact. Keep your tone measured and let your body language convey ease. Over time, this will become second nature, and your conversations with women will naturally reflect your calm, confident energy. Speaking of conversations, if you're finding these insights helpful, take a moment to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear which of these principles resonates with you most. Now, let's elevate your game further by diving into the next essential skill: mastering Stoic body language. 3. Stoic body language. Before you even utter a word, your body has already spoken volumes. Think about it. How often do you pay attention to the way you stand, move, or make eye contact? High-value men understand that communication isn't just verbal, it's a full-body experience. And when it comes to attracting women, your body language can either reinforce your confidence or betray your insecurities. So what does Stoic body language look like? It starts with posture. A high-value man stands tall, with his shoulders back and chest open. This isn't about puffing yourself up to appear bigger. It's about presenting yourself as grounded, composed, and self-assured. A strong posture not only makes you look more confident, but also helps you feel more confident. It's a feedback loop. When you carry yourself like a leader, your mind naturally aligns with that image. Eye contact is another critical element. When you maintain steady, relaxed eye contact, you communicate two powerful messages. I see you and I'm not afraid to be seen. Women find this incredibly alluring. It shows that you're present in the moment and fully engaged in the interaction. So on the flip side, avoiding eye contact or letting your gaze dart nervously around the room signals uncertainty and insecurity, two traits that instantly diminish your value in her eyes. But it doesn't stop there. High-value men are deliberate in their movements. They don't fidget shuffle their feet or gesture excessively. Every action is intentional, measured, and composed. When you reach for your drink, adjust your seat, or even turn your head to respond, do so with calm precision. These subtle cues tell her, I'm in control and I'm comfortable in my own skin. Let's not forget the power of proximity. How you position yourself in relation to her can set the tone for the entire conversation. A confident man doesn't invade her personal space, nor does he shrink away as if unsure of his place. Instead, he maintains a respectful yet assertive distance, signaling both interest and respect. This balance is key. It shows you're engaged but not overeager. Now here's an often overlooked aspect, the speed of your movements. High-value men move at a deliberate pace, never rushing or appearing frantic. Whether you're walking across the room or reaching for something on the table, slow down. This not only makes you appear more composed, but also gives you an air of control and poise. Women are highly attuned to these nuances, and they'll pick up on your calm, collected demeanor instantly. But why does Stoic body language matter so much? Because it sets the stage for everything else. It creates an immediate impression of confidence and stability, drawing her in before you even speak. And when combined with the emotional control we discussed earlier, it makes you practically irresistible. This is the essence of Stoicism in action, a philosophy that teaches mastery over oneself, both mentally and physically. As you refine your body language, pay attention to the signals you're sending in everyday interactions. Are you slouching? Avoiding eye contact? Fidgeting? Practice standing tall, moving with intention, and maintaining steady eye contact. These small adjustments can have a massive impact on how women perceive you, making you stand out as a high-value man who's completely at ease in his own skin. 4. Confidence without ego. Confidence is magnetic, but let's be real, there's a fine line between confidence and ego, and most men cross it without even realizing. How often have you seen someone bragging about their accomplishments, showing off their material possessions, or dominating every conversation just to prove a point? And let me ask you, does that behavior actually attract women, or does it repel them? Here's the secret. True confidence doesn't need to shout, it speaks for itself. A high-value man walks into a room with quiet assurance. He doesn't need to boast about his achievements or seek validation through external markers of success. His presence alone commands attention because his confidence is genuine, rooted in his self-worth, not in the need to impress others. Why is this so important? Because women can sense insecurity from a mile away. The moment you start flexing your ego, dropping status symbols into the conversation, or trying too hard to showcase your value, you're actually doing the opposite. You're revealing your lack of confidence. On the other hand, when you let your actions and demeanor speak for you, you project a kind of quiet power that is incredibly attractive. Picture this, you're on a date and she asks about your job. A man driven by ego might launch into a monologue about his title, the prestige of his company, or the impressive projects he's leading. But a high-value man, he'll answer succinctly, confidently, and then pivot the conversation to something more meaningful, perhaps asking her about her passions or dreams. Why? Because he knows his worth isn't defined by his job title or accomplishments, it's about who he is as a person. Confidence without ego also shows up in how you handle praise. Let's say she compliments you, whether it's your style, your sense of humor, or something deeper. Do you deflect it with false humility, overplay your response, or maybe even brush it off entirely? A high-value man knows the perfect balance. He accepts the compliment with a simple thank you and moves on, neither downplaying it nor basking in it. This response communicates that while he appreciates the acknowledgement, his self-esteem doesn't hinge on it. And here's where it gets even more interesting. When you exhibit this kind of quiet confidence, you naturally inspire curiosity. As she starts wondering, what else is he holding back? What stories, experiences, or insights does he have that he's not flaunting? This intrigue is far more powerful than any flashy display of ego. Let's bring it back to you. How often do you feel the need to prove yourself in conversations? Are you tempted to overshare or highlight your successes to gain approval? If so, take a moment to reflect. What would it feel like to let go of that need and simply trust that your presence, your calm confidence, is enough? The moment you internalize this mindset, you'll find that your interactions become more authentic, more engaging, and ultimately more impactful. So let's make a pact. The next time you're in a conversation, resist the urge to prove your worth through words. Instead, focus on showing it through your demeanor, your calm confidence, and your genuine interest in the person in front of you. And when she compliments you, remember, a simple, heartfelt thank you goes a long way. Now, if you're starting to see how these principles could transform the way you interact with women, I want to hear from you. Take a second to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Which part of confidence without ego resonates with you most? Have you noticed a difference when you approach conversations with this mindset? Let's discuss. I'm curious to hear your experiences. 5. Emotional detachment from rejection. Let's face it, rejection stings. Whether it's a polite "I'm not interested" or a more direct "no," most men take it personally. It's as if every rejection chips away at their confidence, leaving them questioning their worth. But here's the reality check. Rejection isn't about you, it's about compatibility. And high-value men know this truth deep in their core. Think about this. Why do so many men fear rejection? It's because they tie their self-worth to external outcomes. And if a woman isn't interested, they see it as a reflection of their inadequacy. But a high-value man operates differently. He understands that rejection is simply part of the process. Not every woman will be interested, and that's okay. He doesn't crumble, lash out, or try to convince her otherwise. Instead, he smiles, thanks her for her honesty, and moves on. Why is this approach so powerful? Because it shows emotional resilience. Women are drawn to men who don't let setbacks define them. When you handle rejection with grace, you send a clear message. My value isn't determined by your approval. This detachment is not only liberating, but also incredibly attractive. In fact, it often makes women second-guess their initial decision. Why? Because they see you as a man who's confident enough to walk away without any bitterness or desperation. Imagine this scenario. You approach a woman at a social gathering, strike up a conversation, and eventually express your interest. She politely declines. What do? A typical reaction might be to feel embarrassed, make a quick exit, or even try to change her mind. But a high-value man, he'd smile, perhaps even say, "No worries, it was great meeting you," and continue enjoying his evening. This level of composure demonstrates a rare strength of character. It shows that you're not emotionally tethered to a single interaction. Now let's take this one step further. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you don't care about connections, it means you're not controlled by the outcome. You're open to possibilities but unfazed by rejection. This mindset allows you to take risks, approach more confidently, and ultimately create more authentic connections. In a world where most men are crippled by the fear of hearing no, you stand out as someone who's unafraid to embrace it. Here's the kicker. When you detach emotionally, you actually become more attractive. The women are used to men who either crumble under rejection or react poorly. But when they see someone who handles it with grace and ease, it sparks curiosity. Why is he so unshaken? What gives him his inner strength? The answer, of course, is your self-assuredness and your commitment to personal growth. So how do you develop this emotional detachment? Start by reframing rejection. Instead of viewing it as a personal failure, see it as a natural filter. Not every interaction will lead to a connection, and that's perfectly fine. Each rejection brings you one step closer to finding someone who truly aligns with you. Practice gratitude in these moments. Thank her for her honesty and the opportunity to connect, even if it didn't work out. Over time, you'll find that rejection loses its sting and your confidence remains intact, no matter the outcome. 6. Maintaining composure in any situation. The life is unpredictable. Conversations can take unexpected turns, and emotions can flare up at the most inconvenient times. How do you respond when tensions rise? Do you meet fire with fire, or do you maintain your cool, projecting a sense of calm even in the storm? Here's the secret. Composure is a superpower, and it's one that high-value men wield effortlessly. Let's start with a common scenario. You're on a date and everything is going smoothly. Suddenly, she brings up a topic that catches you off guard. Maybe it's a past relationship, a controversial opinion, or even a playful jab at something you hold dear. How do you react? The average man might become defensive, attempt to explain himself, or let frustration seep into his tone. But a high-value man, he leans into the moment, stays calm, and lets the conversation unfold naturally. Why is composure so important? Because it signals confidence and emotional maturity. Though women are naturally drawn to men who can navigate high-pressure situations without losing their cool. In a world filled with drama and emotional reactivity, the man who remains unshaken is a beacon of stability. He becomes someone she can rely on, someone who won't crumble when the going gets tough. But maintaining composure isn't just about keeping your emotions in check. It's about controlling the narrative of the interaction. When you stay calm, you steer the conversation with purpose, ensuring it remains positive and engaging. And even when she tests you, and trust me, she will, your composed demeanor tells her, "I'm not easily rattled. I'm in control." Think about the last time you found yourself in a heated moment. Maybe it was during a disagreement or an awkward pause in conversation. Did you feel the urge to fill the silence with nervous chatter? Or perhaps you raised your voice to make a point? High-value men do neither. Instead, they let the moment breathe, maintaining their calm, collected energy. So pause often diffuses tension and creates space for a more thoughtful, productive exchange. Composure also extends to how you handle external challenges. Imagine you're out with her and something unexpected happens. Perhaps there's a delay at the restaurant, or someone bumps into you, spilling your drink. Do you let frustration show, or do you handle the situation with grace, perhaps even turning it into a lighthearted moment? A man who can laugh off minor inconveniences and adapt to the unexpected exudes a sense of security that women find incredibly attractive. Now, here's a practical exercise. Start practicing composure in low-stakes situations. When you're stuck in traffic, waiting in line, or dealing with a minor inconvenience, take a breath and remind yourself to stay calm. Over time, this practice will become second nature, and you'll find it much easier to maintain your composure in more high-pressure inner high. Remember, the goal isn't to suppress your emotions but to master them. Stoicism teaches that while we can't control external events, we can always control how we respond. By embodying this principle, you'll not only elevate your interactions with women, but also become a more grounded, resilient individual in every aspect of your life. 7. Speaking with purpose. Let's get real for a moment. How often do you find yourself talking just to fill the silence? Maybe you felt the pressure to keep the conversation going, blurting out whatever comes to mind, hoping to keep her engaged. But here's the truth. High-value men don't waste words. They speak with intention, and every word carries weight. This approach isn't just powerful, it's magnetic. That when you speak with purpose, you immediately set yourself apart. In a world where most conversations are filled with superficial chatter, the man who chooses his words carefully stands out. Women appreciate a man who knows when to speak and, more importantly, when to listen. A silence, when used intentionally, can be one of your most powerful tools. It shows confidence, comfort with yourself, and a deep respect for the flow of the conversation. Let's break this down. Imagine you're on a date, and there's a lull in the conversation. Most men panic in this moment, scrambling to fill the gap with whatever thought pops into their head. But a high-value man, he embraces the silence. He knows that the pause is a natural part of the conversation, not something to be feared. He lets it linger, maintaining eye contact and a calm demeanor. This subtle act of confidence speaks volumes. I'm not here to perform, and I'm comfortable with the quiet moments. When you do speak, your words should add value. Instead of relying on generic compliments like "you're really pretty," offer something more thoughtful and unique. For example, "I like the way you think about specific topic. It's refreshing." This not only shows that you're paying attention, but also invites her to share more about herself, deepening the connection. Speaking with purpose also means avoiding the trap of oversharing. You don't need to explain every detail of your life or justify your choices. Instead, focus on being succinct and impactful. Share just enough to intrigue her, then shift the focus back to her. Remember, mystery is alluring. When you leave certain things unsaid, you create an air of intrigue that keeps her wanting to know more. But here's the kicker. Purposeful communication isn't just about what you say, it's about how you say it. Your tone, pacing, and delivery all play a crucial role in conveying confidence and authenticity. Speak slowly and deliberately, with a tone that's both assertive and warm. This combination creates a sense of authority and approachability, drawing her in without overwhelming her. One of the biggest mistakes men make is trying to impress women with a constant stream of words. But real value comes from knowing when to hold back, when to let the conversation breathe. The next time you're talking to a woman, practice being more intentional with your words. Speak less, listen more, and watch how the dynamic shifts in your favor. Now, if you're finding this insight helpful, take a second to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. What's your biggest takeaway from this idea of speaking with purpose? Have you noticed how silence can actually enhance a conversation? I'd love to hear your experiences and how you're applying these principles in your own life. 8. Active listening. In a world where everyone seems to be vying for attention, few skills are as rare and as powerful as active listening. Let's be honest. How often do you find yourself nodding along in a conversation, but your mind is already racing ahead, crafting your next response? If you're like most people, it's more often than you'd like to admit. But here's the thing. High-value men listen differently. And when a high-value man talks to a woman, he's fully present. He isn't distracted by his phone, the people around him, or even his own thoughts. His focus is entirely on her, and she can feel it. This level of attention is magnetic because it's so rare. In a world filled with distractions, giving someone your undivided attention is one of the most attractive qualities you can possess. Here's why active listening is a game changer. It makes her feel seen, heard, and valued. When you truly listen, you're not just hearing her words, you're picking up on her emotions, her intentions, and the deeper meaning behind what she's saying. This creates a sense of connection that goes beyond surface-level interactions. Imagine this scenario. She's sharing a story about a recent trip she took. Most men would nod, wait for a pause, and then chime in with their own travel experience. But a high-value man listens intently, maintaining eye contact, and responds with thoughtful follow-up questions like, "What was the most surprising part of that trip?" Or "How did that experience change the way you see things?" These kinds of responses show that you're genuinely interested in her perspective, not just waiting for your turn to speak. Active listening isn't just about asking questions, though. It's about showing her that her words matter. And simple actions like maintaining steady eye contact, nodding at appropriate moments, and offering affirming gestures like a slight smile or a quiet "I see" can make a world of difference. These cues let her know that you're fully engaged, encouraging her to open up even more. But here's the secret weapon of active listening: reflecting and summarizing what she said. For instance, if she's talking about a challenge she's facing at work, you might say, "It sounds like you're really passionate about finding a solution, even though it's been tough." This not only shows that you're paying attention, but also that you understand her on a deeper level. It's a subtle yet powerful way to build rapport and trust. And let's not forget the impact of silence. When you're truly listening, you don't feel the need to fill every gap in the conversation. Instead, you let her words hang in the air, giving her the space to elaborate or reflect. This silence isn't awkward, it's intentional. It signals that you're comfortable with the natural rhythm of the conversation and that you're there to understand, not to dominate. So here's a challenge for you. The next time you're in a conversation, practice active listening. Put away your phone, clear your mind, and focus entirely on the person in front of you. Listen not just to respond, but to understand. You'll be amazed at how much deeper your connections become and how much more memorable you'll be in her eyes. 9. Asking thoughtful questions. If you want to truly captivate a woman, forget the typical questions like, "What do you do for work?" or "What's your favorite movie?" These are surface-level, forgettable, and frankly uninspired. High-value men know that the key to meaningful connection lies in thoughtful, impactful questions. When you ask the right questions, you're not just making small talk, you're inviting her to share her world with you. You're signaling that you're genuinely curious about who she is, what she values, and what drives her. This kind of depth sets you apart from the crowd. Think about this. When was the last time someone asked you a question that made you stop and reflect? It's a rare experience, right? That's exactly what you want to create for her. Instead of sticking to the usual topics, dive deeper. Ask questions that reveal her passions, her dreams, and even her vulnerabilities. For example, what's something you've always wanted to do but haven't yet? What's a moment in your life that shaped who you are today? If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be? So these kinds of questions do more than keep the conversation interesting. They invite her to explore parts of herself she might not often share. And as she opens up, you're building a bridge of trust and intimacy. She starts to see you as someone who genuinely cares about understanding her, not just impressing her. But asking thoughtful questions isn't just about the content, it's about the delivery. Your tone should be curious, not interrogative. You're not grilling her for information, you're inviting her into a deeper conversation. And when she responds, you listen actively, as we discussed earlier, showing her that her words truly matter to you. Here's another pro tip. Build on her responses. If she shares a childhood dream of becoming an artist, ask her what drew her to that dream. If she talks about a recent challenge, inquire about what she learned from the experience. This not only keeps the conversation flowing, but also demonstrates that you're deeply engaged. Thoughtful questions also show that you're comfortable exploring more meaningful topics. You're not afraid of silence or depth. This kind of emotional bravery is rare, and women find it incredibly attractive. It tells her that you're not just another guy looking for surface-level validation. You're someone who values genuine connection. Now, I want you to reflect. What kinds of questions do you usually ask when you're getting to know someone? Are they helping you build deeper connections, or are they keeping things on the surface? The next time you're in a conversation, challenge yourself to go beyond the usual. Ask questions that spark real, meaningful dialogue. You'll be amazed at the doors it opens. 10. Ending with grace. Every conversation, no matter how captivating, must eventually come to an end. But here's where many men stumble. They either drag it out too long, hoping for a perfect moment to impress her, or they cut it off awkwardly, leaving her with a sense of unfinished business. High-value men, however, know how to end friction with poise and grace, leaving a lasting impression that lingers long after the interaction is over. Think of it this way. The way you end a conversation is like the final note of a song. If it's abrupt or off-key, it leaves a sour taste. But if it's smooth and intentional, it leaves her wanting more. The goal is simple. End on a high note, creating a sense of intrigue and anticipation for your next interaction. Let's break this down. Imagine you're having a great conversation, the kind where time seems to fly by. As you notice the energy starting to dip slightly, instead of trying to force the conversation to continue, you say something like, "This has been really great, but I have to run. Let's pick this up another time." This approach shows that you're confident and in control of your time. You're not lingering out of neediness, you're leaving because you value your time and hers. Why is this so effective? Because it leaves her with a sense of curiosity. She'll think, "Wow, he's intriguing. I want to know more." You've planted a seed of anticipation, and that's incredibly powerful. Instead of overstaying your welcome, you've created a sense of scarcity and value. Remember, people value what they can't easily have, and ending the conversation gracefully signals that you're a man who knows his worth. Ending with grace also demonstrates emotional intelligence. You're showing her that you're attuned to the natural flow of the conversation and that you respect her time and space. This small act speaks volumes about your character and leaves a positive impression that will keep her thinking about you long after you've parted ways. Here's another crucial element: your parting words. They don't have to be elaborate, but they should be intentional. Whether it's a simple "take care" or a more specific "I really enjoyed talking with you about" topic, your final words should leave a warm, positive note. Pair this with a confident smile and steady eye contact, and you've just created a memorable exit. Let's not forget body language. As you wrap up the conversation, stand tall, maintain your composed demeanor, and don't rush away as if you're escaping. Move with purpose, showing that you're in control of your actions and decisions. This calm, measured exit reinforces the confidence and poise you've demonstrated throughout the interaction. The beauty of ending with grace is that it not only leaves her with a positive impression, but also sets the stage for future interactions. Whether it's a casual text, a follow-up call, or bumping into her again, she'll remember how effortlessly you carried yourself and how enjoyable the conversation was. And in her mind, she'll associate those positive feelings with you. So here's your next challenge. Practice ending conversations with intention. The next time you're in a great interaction, don't wait for it to fizzle out. Take charge, wrap it up smoothly, and leave her wanting more. You'll find that this small change can have a massive impact on the quality of your connections. There you have it, 10 powerful ways to elevate your conversations and transform the way you connect with women. Each principle, from mastering emotional control to ending with grace, is a building block that helps you become the kind of man women respect, admire, and are deeply intrigued by. But let's not stop here. Which of these principles resonated with you the most? Have you started applying any of these ideas in your daily life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear how these strategies are working for you. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Remember, Stoicism isn't just about keeping your emotions in check. It's about cultivating a mindset that helps you thrive in all aspects of life. Whether it's in your relationships, career, or personal growth, these principles will serve you well. If you're ready to continue your journey toward becoming a high-value man, be sure to subscribe for more content like this. Share this video with anyone who could benefit from these insights, and let's build a community of men who lead with confidence, purpose, and integrity. Thank you for watching, and here's to your growth and success. Stay confident, stay composed, and most importantly, stay true to yourself.